Rob? Okay, a little jumped ahead of the game. We'll call a meeting to order. And ask the clerk if she would take the roll.
Ms. Dunn?
Yes, here.
Mr. Stovall?
Here.
Dr. Moeller?
Here. Oh, is it on?
Here.
Yes. Mr. Weber?
Here. Okay, so we have quorum.
Through the chair. Yes, we have quorum.
Okay.
I did it.
Thank you. Thank you. Hopefully everybody's had a chance to take a look at the consent calendar. Do we have any, if we don't have any changes, does someone have a motion?
Mr. Stovall,
Yes.
I'm so sorry for interrupting you. We did not hear Mr. Weber say that he was present. Can you try the microphone real quick?
Oh, sure. Here.
Okay.
Can you hear okay? I'll move mine over a little bit that way too. There we go. Okay. Can you hear me okay? I don't know how directional these things are.
Sorry, through the chair, we have quorum.
Oh, okay, thank you. So let's see, hopefully everyone's had a chance to take a look at the consent calendar. Do we have a motion?
I wasn't here. A motion.
Motion by Mr. Weber. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. If the clerk would take the roll, please.
Ms. Dunn?
I was absent.
To abstain.
I abstain.
Mr. Stovall?
Yes.
Dr. Moeller?
Yes.
Mr. Weber?
Yes.
Through the chair, motion passes.
Okay, thank you, thank you. Okay, so we'll turn then to the hearing portion of our calendar and ask all those who will be testifying to raise your right hand today.
Yeah.
Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give in the matters pending before the hearing board today should be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay, record should reflect that all responded affirmatively. So we'll turn then to S2416S. And I believe, Shannon, that's yours. Well, first of all, we will accept the petitioner's petition as their initial testimony. And I guess this the petitioner for Alon Bakersfield Refining want to introduce themselves at the, we've got a podium over here for the petitioners. And spell your name for the record, if you would.
Matthew Jalali.
Okay.
Jalali.
Thank you, Mr. Shaw. You want to spell that last name? Just
Jalali.
okay. Thank you, Matthew. So we'll then turn to Shannon for the staff.
Thank you. Good morning. My name is Shannon Moore. I'm an air quality specialist here at the district. Before you this morning is Alon Bakersfield Refining. They operate an idle petroleum refinery that is in the process of inspecting, repairing, and replacing equipment to convert to a renewable fuels production facility. When Alon begins producing renewable fuels, hydrogen will be used as part of the reaction to convert fats, oils, and greases into renewable diesel, naphtha, propane, and butane. The facility has an idle hydrogen generation unit that they plan to return to active service. The unit includes a 233 MMBTU per hour specialized furnace with several hundred small burners that provide heat to convert methane and steam into hydrogen. NOx emissions from the furnace are controlled by a selective catalytic reduction system, and emissions are monitored by a continuous emissions monitoring system. In the initial stage of the recommissioning project, Alon replaced the furnace refractory and the steam methane reformation catalyst. Under normal operation, the furnace permit allows up to 2 hours per day to reach operating temperature when starting up the furnace. However, in order to avoid damaging the new refractory, Elan must increase the temperature slowly, which will extend the startup past the 2-hour limit. In addition, while the furnace is fired at a reduced rate during the curing process, the exhaust temperature will not be high enough to support operation of the selective catalytic reduction system, which will result in increased NOx emissions. Elan also expects the reduced fire rate to result in higher CO emissions. Once the refractory is cured and the reformation catalyst is up to operating temperature, each burner must then be tuned to achieve the correct flame profile, flame length, and oxygen ratio. While the burners are being tuned, there will also be times when the furnace exhaust temperature will not support the operation of the SCR for NOx control, and CO emissions are likely to exceed the permitted limits. Therefore, Elan has requested a short variance from requirements of the applicable district rules, in addition to the applicable conditions of the subject permits. The requested short variance will be effective for a non-consecutive 432-hour period to occur sometime between July 1st, 2024 and September 28th, 2024 inclusive. If granted, the variance would allow Elan to exceed the 2-hour per day startup time and to operate the furnace with excess NOx and CO emissions while they cure the new refractory and tune the furnace burners. Elan has calculated that excess emissions for the full variance period could be up to 1,645 pounds of NOx and 1,112 pounds of CO. The district has reviewed the calculations and determined they are appropriate for the variance. The district believes the required findings as set forth in the California Health and Safety Code can be made and recommends that Elan Bakersfield Refining be granted a short variance with the conditions on pages 4 and 5. That concludes the district's presentation.
Okay, thank you, Shannon. Any questions for Shannon?
No.
Okay, no questions for Shannon. Matthew, anything you'd like to add?
No, sir.
Okay, questions for Matthew?
None.
I just one question, Matthew. I think we're all pretty aware of this here, but if you weren't able to open up, start business, how many jobs and economic input would that affect if you weren't able to?
It's renewable diesel process. There's not a startup. That means the number of jobs I can estimate probably about 50 to 60 people, and the economic loss about $500,000 per day.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, thank you. Any other questions for Matthew?
No.
Okay, do we have any public comment? Not seeing any here in Bakersfield.
None in Fresno and none online.
Okay, so we'll close then the testimony on this hearing and see if we have comments or a motion.
I'll move.
Ms. Dunn?
I move to approve to Elan Bakersfield Refinery, docket number S-24-16S. With the required 6 findings of the Health and Safety Code adopted by reference as set forth in this staff report. This variance shall be effective for the period of non-consecutive period of 432 hours per between July 1st, 2024 and September 28th, 2024 inclusive. And they're subject to the conditions on the staff report. Did I say that? Yeah, recommendations, page 4 to 5. I think that's it.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Dunn.
Uh-huh.
We have a second.
I second.
Okay, we have a motion by Ms. Dunn, second by Mr. Weber. The clerk would take the roll, please.
Ms. Dunn,
Yes.
Mr. Stovall,
Yes?
Dr. Moeller,
Yes.
Mr. Weber.
Yes.
Through the chair, motion passes.
Okay, thank you. So the variance is granted on that one. We'll see you in a few moments.
See you in a minute.
Okay. Let's turn then to S-2419S, short variance for Era Energy LLC. The petitioner would come to the podium and state your names and spell them for the record, if you would.
My name is Sam Parks, Parks.
Billy Schollenberger, Schollenberger.
Okay, thank you, thank you. And Estelle, I think this is yours.
That's correct. Good morning, everyone. My name is Estela Soto, and I am a senior air quality specialist here with the district. And before you is ERA. ERA has a light and heavy crude oil production operation within the Bell Ridge oil field. Water and gases are produced with the crude oil and treated at ERA's dehydration facilities and gas plant. The Bell Ridge Section 32 cogeneration facility, or cogen 32, provides power to the field, and when the turbines are down, electricity must be purchased from PG&E. Each turbine is currently limited to 5,650 MMBTUs per day of fuel usage. This fuel limit is approximately 15% less than the base load at or near full capacity. All three of the turbines are currently set to follow the field energy demand, and each ramping up and down depending on electricity used in buildings and equipment. ERA believes that having a reduced fuel limit on each turbine results in an unintended negative effect on efficiency. ERA is proposing to determine how much efficiency can be gained in one or two of the turbines if one or two of the turbines are free to operate at base load and the remaining turbine used to follow the power demand from the field. If this project succeeds, it will achieve both an increase in efficiency and a reduction in emissions. For the purposes of this variance, ERA is requesting to operate two turbines for 2 days at a base load, which is an increased fuel from 5,650 to 6,500 MMBTUs per day, with the third turbine following the changes in the field demand. And for an additional 4 days, ERA would operate a single turbine at base load with the other two turbines used to follow changes in field demand. The base load turbine will alternate as needed to optimize the test data being obtained. ERA requests that the variance allow these hours to be non-consecutive, and the data to be obtained is necessary for planning for permit modifications that will follow future energy improvements and emission reductions. Therefore, ERA has requested a short variance from the applicable requirements of district rules in addition to the applicable conditions of the subject permits. The requested variance would be for a non-consecutive 144-hour period to occur sometime between June 13th, 2024 and August 12th, 2024 inclusive. If granted, the variance would allow ERA to temporarily increase fuel usage above the current permit limits, which are below full capacity, to evaluate relative efficiencies. ERA has calculated that in a worst-case scenario, the excess emissions for a full 144-hour period will be 68 pounds of NOx, 517 pounds of CO, 76 pounds of NOx, I'm sorry, the first one is SOx, 54 pounds of VOC, and 109 pounds of PM 2.5. The district believes that the required findings that set forth in the California Health and Safety Code can be made and recommends that ERA be granted variance with the conditions on pages 4 and 5 of the staff report. And that concludes the district's presentation. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Stella. Do you have any questions for Stella?
No, it's pretty clear.
Not seeing any questions for Stella. Turn then to ERA, and just to remind you, we will consider your petition, your initial testimony. If you'd like to add anything, be fine.
No, just a thanks to the district for supporting this variance and the hearing board for hearing our petition.
Any questions for the petition? Okay, not seeing any questions for the petitioner. Do we have any public comment?
Mr. Stovall,
Yes.
real quick, Mr. Stovall, I'm sorry, can we have them state their names and spell the last names one more time for
Okay,
our,
sure.
Thank
I
you.
think that last one really kind of got them. So,
Schollenberger.
go ahead.
My name is Sam Parks, Parks.
Billy Schollenberger, Schollenberger.
Okay, I don't think Parks was the problem.
No, I don't think so either.
I got it though.
Okay, so, any public comment? Not saying any here in Bakersfield.
None in Fresno and none online.
Okay, with that, then we will go ahead and close the testimony portion of this hearing and see if we have a motion.
I'll motion.
Mr. Weber.
Right, I move to approve Era Energy LLC's petition for a short variance set forth in docket number S-24-19 S with the required 6 findings of the Health and Safety Code adopted by reference as set forth in the staff report. The variance shall be effective for a non-consecutive 144-hour period to occur sometime between June 13th, 2024 and August 12th, 2024 inclusive, or until the proposed activities are completed and the plant is returned to normal operation, whichever occurs first, and shall be subject to the conditions on pages 4 and 5 of the staff report.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Weber. Do we have a second?
Second.
I second.
Okay, let's see. Who should we give that to?
We both did it.
Kind of a tie.
We both did it, yeah.
I will give it to Mr. Miller.
Give it to
That's
Mr.
okay.
Miller.
Yeah, Dr. Miller, excuse me.
I'm the teacher.
That sounds good. So I have a motion by Mr. Weber, second by Dr. Mueller. The clerk would take the roll, please.
Ms. Dunn,
Yes.
Mr. Stovall,
Yes.
Dr. Moeller,
Yes.
Mr. Weber.
Yes.
Through the chair, motion passes.
Okay, great. Thank you. The variance is granted. Okay, let's turn then to
On again.
let's see. Yeah, we'll go back to Alon Bakersfield. And
Yes.
again, we will go and consider your petition as your initial testimony. And Matthew, I'll have you state your name and spell it again for just for the record.
Matthew Jalali, last name is Jalali.
Thank you, Matthew. Okay, then let's go to Shannon. I believe this is yours.
Yes, thank you. Good morning. My name is Shannon Moore. I'm an air quality specialist at the district. Before you this morning is Alon Bakersfield Refining. They operate an idle petroleum refinery that is in the process of converting to a renewable fuel production facility. There is no active petroleum refining on site, and portions of the facility associated with petroleum production are being taken out of service. District rules and permit conditions require Alon to operate vapor recovery systems to collect vapors from tanks that still contain VOC-containing liquids. The collected vapors are routed to a facility fuel gas system or to one of 2 flares for combustion. This past year, your board has granted various petitions to Alon that were deemed necessary as part of their plan to convert the facility to renewable fuels and to remain in compliance. Alon has used the variances to seal off or blind sections of the vapor recovery system so they can identify and repair leaks and to replace a pressure regulator on the vapor recovery system. Now that the leaks are repaired and as they prepare to recommission the facility, Alon now needs to remove the blinds and reopen sections of the vapor recovery system that were sealed. In order to safely remove the blinds, they need to shut down the vapor recovery system and purge the gas lines with nitrogen. Alon intends to perform the work overnight to minimize temperatures and vapor pressures in the tanks. If all the work cannot be completed during one continuous period, the vapor recovery system will be restarted and will only be shut down again to complete work on the project. A total of 5 tanks are affected by the variance, and the total vapor recovery system downtime will not exceed 24 hours. The facility will be in violation of district rules and permit conditions when the vapor recovery system is offline. Therefore, Alon has requested a short variance from requirements of the applicable district rules, in addition to the applicable conditions of the subject permits. The requested variance period would be for a non-consecutive 24-hour period to occur sometime between June 13th, 2024 and June 27th, 2024 inclusive. If granted, the short variance would allow for the continued storage of VOC-containing liquids without a functional or operating vapor recovery system, while Alon removes blinds to reopen sections of piping to vapor recovery service. Alon has calculated that excess emissions for a full 24-hour variance period will not exceed 24 pounds of VOCs. The district has reviewed the calculations and determined they are appropriate for the variance. The district believes the required findings as set forth in the California Health and Safety Code can be made and recommends that Alon Bakersfield Refining be granted the short variance with the conditions on pages 3, 4, and 5. And that concludes the district's presentation.
Okay, thank you, Shannon. Any questions for Shannon? Not seeing any questions for Shannon. I'll move then. If the petitioner has anything they would like to add.
No, just thank you for your time.
Okay, thank you, Matthew. Do you have any public comment? Not seeing any public comment in Bakersfield.
None in Fresno and none online.
Okay, thank you, thank you. With that, then we will go ahead and close the testimony portion of this hearing. See if we have a motion.
It's been a while. Let me try one here. I move that Allen Bakersfield Refinery be granted a short variance as provided in docket S24S or 20S. Be granted a short variance for a 24-hour period from June 13th, 2024 to June 27th, 2024 inclusively. Whoops. It's not, non-consecutive 24-hour. I'm sorry. Let me start again. A non-consecutive 24-hour period between June 13th, 2024 and June 27th, 2024 inclusively. And that the recommendations should be followed on pages 3, 4, and 5. Did I miss anything, or did I get it about right there?
That sounds good. That sounds good. So motion by Dr. Mueller. Do we have a second?
Seconded.
Oh, okay, second by Miss Dunn. Do we have? Well, I guess that's. We'll take the roll, please.
Ms. Dunn,
Yes.
Mr. Stovall,
Yes.
Dr. Mueller,
Yes.
Mr. Weber.
Yes.
Through the chair, motion passes.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Variance is granted. Thank you. Okay, let's turn then to S2421S, short variance for current energy. There, come to the podium, please, and if you would state your names and spell them for the record. Appreciate it.
Hector Lopez, Lopez.
Thank you, Hector.
And Gabe Castro, Castro.
Okay, thank you, Dave. Let's see, Estella, I think this one's yours.
That is correct. Thank you again. Good morning again. My name is Estela Soto, and I'm a senior air quality specialist here with the district. And before you is Kern Energy. Kern operates a small independent refinery that processes crude oil into refined products for distribution to the fuels market. The refining process requires a complex network of tanks to store feedstock, intermediate products, and finished fuels. Many of these tanks require a vapor recovery system to provide a gas blanket and to control emissions when transferring material into and out of the tanks. VRS-1 and VRS-2, each consisting of compressors and a complex network of piping. The district permits require that the subject tanks have a functional vapor recovery system and be maintained in a gas-tight condition at all times. The VRS-1 must be taken offline for up to 60 discontinuous hours in order to perform maintenance and cleaning of pipelines connecting the crude tank farm to the diesel tank farm. Additional details pertaining to the specific network to be completed during the variance period are outlined in attachment 1. No unauthorized modifications subject to district permitting is part of this maintenance and repair work effort. The VRS-2 must be taken offline for up to 36 discontinuous hours in order to perform maintenance and cleaning of the pipeline components connected to the refinery vapor recovery system. Because this maintenance or repair work requires a complete shutdown of the VRS, Kern will violate the permit conditions requiring an operable vapor recovery system at all times. Additionally, the VRS may not be leak-free as required by permit conditions during the period that VRS-1 and VRS-2 are shut down and the maintenance is being performed. Therefore, Kern has requested a short variance from the district rules in addition to the conditions of the applicable permits. The requested short variance would be effective for a non-consecutive 36-hour period for VRS2 and 60 hours for VRS1. This period to occur sometime between June 29th, 2024 and September 29th, 2024 inclusive. If granted, the variance would allow Kern to store VOC containing liquids in the subject storage tanks without an operating or functional VRS while the maintenance or repair work is performed. The excess emissions have been calculated with the worst case scenario should any unforeseen issues arise during the maintenance or repair work. Kern anticipates up to 145 pounds of excess VOC emissions during the variance period. The district believes that the required findings that set forth in the California Health and Safety Code can be made and recommends that Kern be granted a short variance with the conditions on pages 4, 5, and 6 of the staff report. And that concludes the district's presentation. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Stella. Do we have any questions for Stella? No. Okay, if not, we'll turn to the petitioner, and again, we'll consider your petition, your initial testimony. Anything you'd like to add?
No additional comments, just thank staff for all of their work.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Any questions for the petitioner? Nope. Okay, not seeing any questions. Do we have any public comments? Not seeing any public comment here in Bakersfield.
None in Fresno and none online.
Okay, thank you. With that, then we'll close the testimony portion of the hearing and see if we have a motion.
I'll motion.
Mr. Weber, you beat him to the punch this time. Okay.
All right, I move to approve Kern Energy petition for a short variance set forth in docket number S-24-21S with the required 6 findings of the Health and Safety Code adopted by reference as set forth in the staff report. The variance shall be effective for a non-consecutive 36-hour VRS2 and non-consecutive 60-hour VRS1 period to occur sometime between June 29, 2024 and September 29, 2024 inclusive, or until the work has been completed and the emission control devices are returned to compliant operation, whichever occurs first, and shall be subject to conditions on pages 4, 5, and 6 of the staff report.
Okay, thank you. Motion by Mr. Weber. Do I have a second?
Second.
I second it.
Okay.
Again.
Dr. Muller, I think we gave it to you last time. We'll go to Ms. Dunn this time.
That
Thank you.
sounds good.
Thank you. Appreciate it. It must have been the electrons were moving kind of slowly this week. Okay. Do I have a motion by Mr. Weber, second by Ms. Dunn to clerk will take the roll, please.
Ms. Dunn,
Yes.
Mr. Stovall,
Yes.
Dr. Muller,
Yes.
sorry, Mr. Weber,
Yes.
through the chair, motion passes.
Okay, thank you. So the variance is granted. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, that I think concludes the hearing portion of our docket. Let's go then to general public comments. I'll read the required statement. This time is made available for comments from the public on matters within the board's jurisdiction that are not on the agenda. It is requested that no comments be made during this period on items on the agenda. The public may make comments after each board agenda item during the time allowed for public comment. Additionally, state law prohibits the hearing board from hearing or from acting on matters that are not on the agenda. Not seeing any public comment in Bakersfield.
None in Fresno and none online.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Hearing board member comments. Just say, I think the staff responded. Probably to an unusual situation. Is something going on in the other room? That's receiving an upgrade. Okay, that's good. This worked out very well. Worked out very well. So And a great job by the staff as always, as always. So our next meeting then is, we did have an emergency variance that was granted, that was on the consent agenda, I believe. So the next meeting, is July
Mr.
10th.
Stovall,
Yes,
can we hit new business for a second?
sure. Do you have any new business?
We
Okay.
do have a correction that I want to bring up, that we had an interim in the southern region, S2417I, that the board granted the variance for Chevron. It's where they were going to mix hydrogen and natural gas in their turbine to see how it worked out. That interim was granted for an effective date of April 24th, 2024 to December 31st, 2024, or until the petition for the regular variance is heard and granted. That time frame that was granted to it is longer than what an interim variance can have granted to it. So that was a mistake. I didn't catch it when I was reviewing the staff report, so I apologize for that. We just wanted to bring it to your attention. We discussed it with our district attorney and the hearing board's attorney as well. And the decisions have already gone out to EPA, and you've signed to Mr. Stovall, and CARB's already received one. So our district attorney said in consultation with the hearing board's attorney that just to bring it to your attention would be sufficient. We don't have to like rehear or do a new decision order or anything.
And one of the reasons we don't need to do a new decision is because the work has already been completed. It was completed within the appropriate time that interims are allowed, and a regular variance is no longer needed, which is why the petition was withdrawn.
Very good, very good. Yeah, no harm, no foul.
All right.
Sorry for omitting the most important part right there. And Acela thankfully caught that. Yeah, so it happened within that time frame that you could have granted an interim, so there's not an issue.
Oh, no problem, Clay. And thank you for bringing it to our attention. And apologize to everyone for skipping past the new business. I should have taken that initially. So, okay, very good. Anything else then? For the good of the order? If not, next meeting is July 10th, 2024. Good to have Dr. Mueller with us. And everybody have a great, but probably warm rest of June, and we'll see you in July. Meetings.
Thank you. Same to you.
Thank you.
Thank you.